Afternoon, everybody. This is Mike Berblinger, Superintendent USD 313 Bueller, and Mrs. Couchman, our Assistant Superintendent, and I are doing a Zoom update to keep you informed about things that are happening during the COVID-19 era. This morning, you may have seen that Governor Kelly made an executive order today for stay at home, and we wanted to kind of update you what that means for Reno County, for Bueller USD 313 schools. And really, we've also talked with our Reno County Health Director, Nick Baldetti, so we have some information from him as well. What this order states on page 6 of the order, it talks about the Kansas Essential Function Framework. And these are the businesses or the entities that that really are exempt from the stay-at-home order. And on page 6, it says, and I quote, operate public and private schools to the extent allowed by other executive orders, including Executive Order 20-7, and under the direction of the Kansas State Board of Ed, the Kansas State Department of Ed, and the Kansas Board of Regents. And that was the executive order that the governor gave on March 17th, which basically said school buildings were closed, but that education could continue in 3 ways. Small groups under 10, 6 feet apart in the buildings, or online or with packets. And so her order today does not change any of that. And we confirmed that with our Reno County Health Director, and they can make it stricter, but they can't loosen it up. So we confirmed with Nick Baldetti that those orders are in place for Reno County as well as for the state.
Excellent. So that brings up some questions that people may have, including right to the point is lunches. Anything changing with lunches now with the governor's executive order that we're serving at Bueller High School and Union Valley this?
No, there will be no change there. The workers are deemed essential, so they will be coming in. What we really tell our staff members is to keep your student ID, or not student ID, staff ID badge with you. But it's not going to be, they're not going to be stopping people if you're out on the road. They're just going to figure that you're headed to where you need to be. So just keep your badge with you. That'll help just in case.
The next question is, can staff come up and into our buildings? Because many staff are still going up and recording lessons and they need access to the buildings. Are staff able to access our buildings even if they're not like lunch people, but just coming up to record lessons?
Yes, definitely. And again, the governor's order today doesn't change how we've been doing business the last couple of weeks. So I think all the building administration has set up ways to let custodians know if you've been in the building so they can go in and disinfect and clean. So that would still stay in effect, but teachers can come and go. Just make sure that you're less than 10 together and keeping 6 feet apart. This is very crucial because people may see cars at our schools and they're wondering if we're following the guidelines. So we really need to do that.
Absolutely. We've actually sent out some emails about making sure you're modeling that and enforcing that. And we're very conscious of that. So if a teacher had a request for needing to get a group together, mostly this would probably happen at the high school. We're really going to be critical of that. In fact, Mr. Berblinger, you want to talk about sort of our philosophical approach to that?
Well, it's allowed by Reno County and by the state, but we would be very specific, and they must get administrative approval through the building principal and probably also from both of us, that if they were considering bringing kids in. And we want to be very selective about that and maybe be very stringent upon if people can come in. So there's no guarantee that they'd be able to come in. And as always, if parents felt like they didn't want their students in the building, they can just keep them at home.
Absolutely. Parents always have the final say. So
Yeah.
we just wanted to keep you guys updated. This is pretty quick. We will be posting, this is a recorded Zoom. So if you're wondering how we did this, we're doing this from our own homes and we're doing it from Zoom and we're recording it and then we'll post it, which is how we'll try to do most of our updates to honor we really do want to encourage people to stay home and travel only when necessary. So, Mr. Berblinger, any closing thoughts?
Yeah. So in a nutshell, her executive order today did not change anything for schools, unless a county has a more stringent order in place. But it did not change anything at this point for Reno County. We've confirmed that with the health director, Nick Baldetti. So things have not necessarily changed for schools. And you may see different things come out because this was on page 6 of the order. So people may not read that far and they're going to wonder why school people are still out and about. But we are under the exemptions from her executive order today.
Excellent. All right. Stay safe.
Thank you.